Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So let's continue here a bit. So now that we have what we need, most of the stuff we need in the admin section, we're remaining with the delete of a user. Now the delete isn't so difficult if we have an edit. So it's just a matter of adding a page or copying this edit page and adding the delete button instead. So let's try and do that. So we can delete a user. Now we just have to make a restriction that the admin should not be deleted, because if you delete the admin, then you have no users left. So we just have to make sure that a user, where are the users in the database? So we just have to make sure that a user that has where is this? User with ID 1 should never be deleted. That way we always have that user ready for action. Okay, so here we can ignore the delete button, but before we ignore it, let's make sure that we lock it, because you never know, people are clever. They might send a post request which has a delete request for the admin, and so we have to prevent it from there, so that even if the delete button is available, it won't actually work. Then we can hide the button. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now let's create a generic delete page for our system here. So we have edit user and we need delete user. So if I go to my project here and I go to app controller, and then I go to, we have edit user, right? So if I select all this, copy everything from edit user, because it's pretty much everything we need. New folder, let's paste and let's save this guy. So we'll select edit user, but then edit the part with edit and put delete instead. So we now have delete user. Okay, very good. So most of this remains the same because we just need to read the information, right? So pretty much the same. So we're just going to go to views as well and admin section, and then there's wait, is this the where does it send me here? It sends to auth edit user. So let's go to auth instead of admin, and that's edit user. Select that, copy everything from here as well, right click, new file, paste, save, and I will select the edit user, but then change it to delete user. Okay, and let's save. Very good. So now with that in mind, if we click on delete, we should be able to get some interface of some kind. We just need now to edit this so that it corresponds to what we want. So right at the top, instead of edit, we're just going to say delete user. Okay, we may not need to show the app name here, but instead we may want to show an alert to just ask the user, are you sure this is what you want to do? So let me put this inside a class and say alert, and let's say alert danger, and let's align the text to the center, and let's change this to something like are you sure you want to delete this user? Question, exclamation point. And let's see if that reflects what we want. Okay, so it's not showing what we want, and that's because if we go back to the delete user controller, you find here that it's referring to the edit user view. So we need to change that as well. So let's change this to delete user, and only admins can delete users. Yes, that should be correct as well. So we have access denied, and yeah, that's pretty much it for now. And let's see what we've got. Okay, so there we go. So delete user, are you sure you want to delete this user? So I'm going to leave these as they are, username our email address, gender, role, and let's just remove the password section here because we really don't need that. But maybe you may want to see this information down here, so I can leave the rest as it is. So back to there. Let's go down here and let's remove the password section, which is this one and this one. So out of here, it doesn't really matter what we leave here because we're not using any of this stuff anyway. We're not going to have errors at all. So I can simply delete this stuff here to avoid having too much code here. So let's remove this part with errors. So are you sure you want to delete? This is fine. And then all these inputs right here, I don't need to put the set whatever here. I just need this right there, right? So what I can do instead is add a div. So let me convert this to a div, and still I want to add a class of form control like that. And then I'm just going to copy this content, the username, right here. I will do this, but I will use the escape function and then close that like so. Then now I can remove the top thing. Okay, so there's a label now and there will be a div here. It visually doesn't look very different, but this is now a div. As you can see, I can't edit what's in here, but I can edit what's in here because that has not changed. So in the same way, I can do this, copy this, and let me paste it down here. Just replace the content and put this one here like so, and remove that. Same thing here, we don't need a select, we just need a div to show the current value. Okay, so I'd copied the wrong thing, copy and paste. And let's copy row gender, copy that, and let's put it here. Boom. Let's remove the entire select thingy like this, and let me copy that again and put it right under this one. Let's remove the change the value, and then we can remove the select. Okay, much less code, of course. And then instead of save, this one will be delete. And let's change these guys. The button primary should come to the console, and this one should have button danger, so that the delete button should be the one that's red. And the user was not found, console. What do we got here? We can leave these as they are. So refresh, and there we go. So now we can't edit these guys. It's just a matter of accepting to delete or cancel. So let's try and cancel this. There we go. And delete. There we go. So now when we click delete, something different should happen to what's in here. So we go back to the delete user controller, and we have all these things that need validation, blah, blah, blah. We don't need any of this. So let's remove this. We are making sure that only other admins can create admins. We don't need this for the delete. All we really need is to change the that update part to the delete part like this. And then we have our ID and we have our post. We don't really need the content, we just need to know the ID of what we are deleting, and that's it. So we don't need that post data. We don't need to check if there's any validation required. Okay, so if not empty errors, we don't even need to check these errors, but we may actually need to check if the user is an admin. So let me undo a little bit here. Okay, I went too far. Let me undo that. Okay, so if post row is equal to admin, if auth row admin. So let me remove this top part and this. I just want to leave the question where if I am a valid admin, then I can actually, let me copy this. yeah, we may actually end up with some errors, right? Let's see here. If array row, how come I do not show any errors here? Wow, okay, so there's actually no error display thingy here, is there? No. Okay, so that's one thing I forgot completely. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Okay, no problem here. What we'll do is, let's copy these two. Actually, let's cut them and paste them here. So if you are an admin, then we can delete. So instead of update, this goes to delete as usual, and let's remove that. That way only admins can delete users. But if I'm not an admin, I should just get an error instead. So there's errors here, so I can just add to the errors array. And this one will be, I don't know, I'll just put it in email for lack of a better place to put it. Or let's just call it O. Maybe username. It doesn't really matter what we add here. It's just somewhere to store the thing. And say only admins can delete users. Actually, the thing is, we may not need all of this, because if we actually saw this, it means we are admins, because the view itself does not show up if you're not an admin. So sending this error would be a waste of time. So no need for that at all. And yeah, let's delete the rest of this. So if the user is just not an admin, we just ignore it, because if they're not an admin, then here things will not work out, because actually let's use this. Anyway, in this case, this and this are exactly the same, because admin only does one thing here, and so it's the same thing here. We'll leave it as it is like this. Okay, pretty good. So this should work just fine. And let me go back to the user's view here and add a few things here. Just a second. Let me go to models and go to user model. Let me see what errors are. Only letters allowed in username. Okay, so we were able to add numbers and all that, even though, oh, okay, numbers are allowed. Only letters allowed in username. Why did I add numbers here again? So let me remove that 0 to 9. If you want to allow a space, you put a space there, but let's leave it at that. Email, password. Okay, so we need a way to show these errors when adding a user or editing a user, which for some reason I didn't pay attention to before. So let me click on edit user here. This will send us some errors. If errors, validate, empty errors. Okay, so this is all good. We just need to check for errors here. So let me copy that. Copy. This should be the same when adding a user as well. So the sign up page, same thing here, same thing there. Okay, so let me go to the sign up page here. Let's see the sign up view. Does it have? Oh, it actually does have here. So I don't know what I'm talking about here. It actually does have down here. So everything seems to be fine. I was getting confused here. I do have an error checking mechanism here already set. It's just that with usernames, I was allowing numbers. So let me go back here, click edit. It shouldn't allow a number this time. So save. and it does allow a number, so that's not good. Let's get back to business again. Where's the user controller here? Okay, if not preg match A to Z data. Oh, so the reason why this is not working well is because I have told it that for as long as there are letters in there, it should be working fine. But what I should have done is tell it that from the beginning to the end, it should only have letters. So I should put a caret here like this, and then down here I'll put a $sign. So this is from the beginning. So if you put just the caret here, you're saying the beginning should have letters at least. But then it wouldn't care about the ending. So if I put the $sign, then I'm talking about the ending. So if I put both, it means from beginning to end, it should only have letters. So at this, it should refuse to allow a number. So if I click save here, it will say only letters allowed. Okay, so that's good. Now save. Okay. Now even letters only are being discriminated against. So what is going on? What have I done wrong here? Oh, okay, I forgot the plus sign. It should have many of these, so click. Okay, there we go. So let's edit again and let's put a number. It will refuse and so what the plus does, it says one or more of these, because there are many letters in that, so I need that plus sign there. Okay, so great. These are the simple mistakes you can make with regular expressions. So you have to be careful when using regular expressions. So if you can avoid it, just use normal if statements and be specific. But if it takes too much code, use regular expressions instead. But just make sure you double check to make sure that they are running as intended. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Oh, wait a minute. Before we go, let's actually try a delete. So I'm going to add a new user. Let's just say some user and email at yo.com. The password will be password. I just want to test and delete this guy and see if things will work out. So create only letters. Yeah, so there's a space there, that's why. Now if you want to be able to add spaces, of course, here you just put a space and this will allow spaces as well, so this will be valid. Okay, what just happened? Oh, that's because I told it to redirect to that place. Which is not cool, so I should change that as well. Let me go to the sign up. Let me change this as the link to go to once we are done. Sorry about that. Where is the sign up page? So I'm looking for the sign up controller. The redirect should not go to the login, it should go to this instead. Paste. Redirect should go to admin and tab is equal to users. Okay, that's great. Okay, so now, oh, so I added this twice. Even though it didn't go well, it saved. Why? That's incredible. Okay, we'll check that out a bit later. So let me delete that. Delete. Cancel. Okay, so things are not working as they're supposed to. I am unable to delete. Okay. Okay, so let's fix these problems in the next video.